Accounts people, time to have a look at data validation. So data validations are the functions that allow us to put in our drop down boxes, so we only select, for instance in this case, an approved customer. It also allows us to set our data, so we could put in a maximum amount or a minimum amount or some other complicated version between and greater than, dates and times as well. It also allows us to put up little boxes that come up as you hover over an area to remind somebody what they should be putting in, and then warnings and errors, which can also come with a message. We can stop somebody entering an amount that's too high or too little, or of the wrong format, and we can put up a little message, or we can actually just warn them as well. So lots of options there. And then validation circles, what we do afterwards to check that the data was correct, maybe just to spot an error or something, to just to pick out an invoice that's too high, for instance. So our customers are all here, they're on another sheet. This could be on the network somewhere, it's on somebody else's sheet, and therefore they're only our authorized customers. We can only invoice ones that have accounts with us. So on our data validation, so look out for the little icon if your icon's a little bit small, or if you've got different settings. We need a list, so under settings we need our list, and the source of the list we've already seen is here. Add a couple more so I could add one in later. And there we are, up pops our approved customers. Somebody could be taken off that list by management if they're over the credit limit or something with a credit control. We can invoice the same people, of course, more than once in a day. So that's our list. You've seen those before. So the invoice amount is where we're going to do most of the work. Doesn't particularly matter which order. So input message, there we are, and that will pop up when we hover over it. Settings, well, we've already said actually we want to make sure it's less than or equal to 1,000. And then the error, in case we try to type in the wrong amount, we'll just put a warning on this one. We could stop it so it couldn't be entered. We'll just keep a simple one, and then when we click OK, it's done it. So as we hover, you saw then only invoice less, the drop down comes up. So if I type in that's too high, I can continue, risk getting into trouble, or just shout at the boss, get approval, or I can cancel and then put in the corrected amount because I got 0 happy. No problem. No problem. And a warning. And in this case I'll click yes because I've shouted the boss, emailed the boss, got approval. So we've actually put another one in that's the wrong amount. And continue. So we saw the messages, and we saw the messages when we typed in the wrong amount. So the only other thing to show you is the data validation circles. So these work on reverse logic. We've allowed it, or we've accepted values under 1,000, and when we circle the invalid data, it will show us everything over 1,000. There we are. And there isn't much more to do apart from play around with the different settings. You can see what was under the settings, decimals, any values, list state with text length, custom, all sorts of versions, and then it didn't have to be less than. There's a few other options there, but we'll leave it as it was.